This is a 2026 GMC Yukon XL Denali Ultimate. And this is definitely the Escalade Slayer. And I'll explain what I mean by that here in a second. I borrowed this SUV from Jerry Seiner GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. This is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. And then here's that new color for 2026 Glacier White Tri-Coat with the 6.2 liter V8. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. Be sure to pause so you can see more. Base price is $106,900. And then Glacier White Tri-Coat is the only option on this build for $1,095. Destination is $2,795 for a total price of $110,790. And then here the fuel economy is off to the side. Does anyone know where the Escalade starts at in price? I'll show it to you here. Where you get a starting price of an Escalade is pretty much where this tops out at. And what I like about the GMC Yukon is you get the same engine options as the Escalade. Now, the only exception is the V model, but I've heard at some point GM is going to be offering the supercharged V8 for the Yukon in the future. Now, it may not be for this generation of Yukon, but it's very possible it could potentially come in the next few years. Now, you guys see on the front end sequential turn signals. I love the refresh that they did. You do get the Vader chrome on the front end and a little bit of black accents. They also add a little bit of satin down below here. Adaptive cruise control. This one did not have night vision, which is something I probably would get at this price point. Love the graphics you get in that GMC badge too. And there's a lot of different packages. Like there's like a hit the road package. If you want more chrome or if you want more blackout, there's a lot of ways you can customize this Denali Ultimate. You guys see the parking sensor off to the side. And this one does have air suspension on all four corners. And this is pretty much why this rides so good. Independent front suspension, double wishbone. And then check out these tires, which are Bridgestone Alenzas. 285/40/24 is the tire size. 24-inch wheel, 6 lug, 4-piston brakes up front. What do you guys think about this wheel design? I think that 24s are like the new 22s because these trucks and SUVs are getting so big, they're making really large wheels look small. Now, you do have the power deployable running boards. It does have the perimeter lighting that will light up the ground at night. Here's some more of the badging. Love this white paint. It has like a blue hue to it. You probably can't tell right now because the sun is so vibrant, but parking sensors, a little bit of black accent right here. Cameras. Yeah, that paint is just insane. A little bit of chrome on the door handles. You have smart key system for the front and rear doors. More satin on these roof rails here. There is an option for crossbars, and twin panel comes standard. I would like to see a glass here too. It would be nice for the third row occupants to have a little bit of visibility out the roof. This is where you're going to fill up at. They do recommend premium. I would say require it. If I were buying this, burning premium. And you have that parking sensor off to the side. A little bit of plastic trimming down below. You have the quad tip exhaust, sequential turn signals out back. They hide the hitch. They hide the windshield wiper in the rear. A little bit of Vader chrome right there too. And you have 2 cameras, one for your rearview mirror and one for backup. And most people know by now, all power. And I love how much storage you have behind the third row. That's why you buy this XL, right? Great storage. Well thought out. And they do provide lights here. No fabric material back here. That's something I like about the Escalade, because as you throw things back here and over time, this all gets scratched up. So I like to see like a carpeted material that goes up a little bit higher. And here's a side view of this Yukon. One advantage you have with this Yukon over the Escalade is you do have the diesel option. And remember, when they did the refresh for the Yukon, they did get the LZO 3-liter Duramax, which did get some updates. That is going to give you best in class fuel economy, especially on the highway. And if you're not looking for the diesel, this 6.2 liter gas V8 does come standard. Has 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, and it's definitely going to outrun the 3-liter Duramax. That thing only has like 305 horsepower, although it does have 495 pound-feet of torque. So you feel that sluggishness up in that 60-mile-an-hour range. So if you need to pass, this is going to get you up and going a lot quicker compared to that. So if you do a lot of highway driving, that is better for fuel economy, but this is better for spirited driving. So 10-speed transmission behind it. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. When you consider the interior of the Ultimate, this is definitely at the top of the list for luxury in the full-size SUV segment. Until you see an Escalade. The Escalade just takes it to another level, but I think the Escalade is a little too bougie. This is just right for me. Now, I'm not putting down the Escalade, obviously. I just want you guys to understand this is a lot of SUV for the money. And you're probably going to spend about 20 grand more to get an equivalent Escalade, because the base Escalade doesn't give you a lot of the options that this Ultimate has. So you would have to go up to a Sport or even a Platinum to get some of these features. Now, you guys see the stitching pattern here. Looks great. 18 speaker Bose, and that is incredible. It sounds great, by the way. Also, seat memories. You guys see this piano black with the satin, real wood. You can feel how porous it is too. Love the two-tone here on the leather, and very high quality. Like, I like how soft this leather feels on the door. The speaker grill looks really nice. 16-way seats, perforated leather. Big, thick steering wheel, leather wrap, power. And then look at all those extra speakers right there in the headrest. So if you like to listen to your jams loud, they'll come through really clear in this one. So let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. 16-way seat on this side. Massage function, by the way. All leather wrapping up here. It looks nice. Big wood trim. More leather, leather, and more leather, wood. Love the center console too. 16.8-inch display. I like the covers, by the way, too. So when you get the lower trim levels, these aren't there. Wireless charger with 2 USBs inside of there. It's a Type C and a Type A. Okay. Has like an off-white piping. This interior color is called Woodland Mahogany, in case you missed it. Out back, you have these screens. All this comes standard, remember, because the only option on this build was the paint. Now, this 8-inch screen here is going to control like your outboard heated seats, climate, and then you have these HDMIs and Type-C USBs. Also 120 volt power plug. I'm going to turn on the SUV so you guys can see that screen down below, but real quickly, perforated leather out back. You have a Type-C USB on each side with place for a bottle, and there's decent space. And what I like about the Yukon is this seat does sit a little bit further up from the floor, so you get better comfort back here if you're a little bit taller. Air vents on the roof. And let's go ahead and check out these screens out back. So this is a 12.6-inch screen on both sides. Your HDMIs do connect to this. I do like the vehicle status, so if you need to be chauffeured around, you can see some of this information here. You can hook up wireless headphones to this too. And then here's some of the settings for this as well. Down below here, you guys see this 8-inch screen does show you the climate. This is only a 3-zone climate, and that's why I want to show the screen to you. That is one advantage on the Escalade. You only have heated outboard seats too. I would like to see ventilated at this price point. Just saying, you can get that on the Toyota Sequoia. push button starts right there. Now I forgot to point out, this does have the sport pedals, and what's nice about these pedals is they are rubber, so when your shoes are wet, they do give you better grip compared to like plastic or like the other ones, and they look cool too, by the way. Now this does have Super Cruise standard, and I think GM has the best of the best for that. So yeah, if you're looking for that more autonomous driving, this is definitely the right SUV to look at. So in reverse, you guys will see you have all these great camera views, no surprise there. And you can see above, these are all good for parking too. If you're not great at parking or hooking up to a trailer, they have you covered there. Now vehicle status, you did kind of see this out back, but this gives you a little bit more detail. So your trip information is here. So if you want to move it over to this screen, you would have to hit add to driver display, because they only give you this one button here to control this screen. So basically you only can just go through each menu. So if you want to see trip information, you would have to be on the right menu. Here, I'll show it to you right here. So on this menu, it does show you that trip information, or maybe you want to see your current trip information. You can add that to the driver display, so you can see your fuel economy, the distance you've driven, and how much time has passed. Also, if you tow a trailer or you plan to go off-road, which I doubt it, you have these temperatures and oil pressure. Now what's nice about this screen is it's very customizable. You can move things around, and climate control can be just controlled here, or you can do it down below. This part of the screen stays illuminated all the time. Now I didn't show this earlier, but you do have some storage above the screen there. You can see it has an ultimate badge right there. You have this 4K rear view mirror. Here are all the controls up top. Notice how you have a camera. I need to create something to put like a little piece of something over that. I hate when something's pointing at me and I don't want it to be. But yeah, they have cameras in your interior now. You can slide this back, and there is some storage. You can also slide this forward if you're a little bit shorter. There's even a place to maybe store something back there. But yeah, ultimately I like that they've given this, because this is really nice. If you have a large purse, I always say this because my wife is younger. Well, my wife is still young, by the way. But when we had younger kids, that's probably what I meant to say. If my wife watches this video, I'm not calling you old baby. I love you still. But yeah, you can put a large purse here, slide this over it. That's just nice. And I think that's why they did this, because they know that there's really no other place to put that kind of stuff at. So well thought out on GM's part there. And here is the vanity. 15-inch heads-up display is still there. And that is pretty much all I care to show you guys. If you do have, you know, garage, home link, they have up to 8 remotes that you can connect to this. And I would say that this 16.8-inch display is really intuitive. I think GM has some of the best in the game. I think that if you're after a lot of like tech, they've really hit a lot of like detail on this thing. So yeah, the Super Cruise, as I said, works super well, and that's probably why most people buy the Yukon. Let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. Gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 3,800 pounds. The rear is 4,200 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 7,700 pounds. 24 by 9.5 wide wheels. And all-in payload is 1,323 pounds. They say this can tow 7,800 pounds conventionally. 14,500 pound gross combined weight rating. And it weighs 6,377 pounds on the curb. 35 PSI on the tires out front, and then 39 in the rear. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that for the money, this is one of the best SUVs on the market, and they sell really well. You would think that a $110,000 SUV wouldn't sell well, but I'm willing to bet you by this time next week this thing will be gone, because it's in the right color. It has a lot of nice features already that come standard, and it's definitely a lot more affordable than the Escalade, and that's not a bad thing because of what you get in this package.